It goes without saying that TF2 has a lot of gimmicks, and most subclasses are just gimmicks. Like the Fat Scout is just heavy with a shotgun, or how Battle Medic is just medic, but he uses his primary, or Trolldier is just a soldier that just bounces around and just hits you. That's basically what most of the subclasses whittle down to, is just a bunch of gimmicks. But recently, it's just been boring for me. So I've made 3 weapons that could just be on their own, or they could just be whatever they want. They could just I just want some weapons, man. Give us an update. It also goes without show that this is my first video, and I do not expect a lot of growth. I expect 2 people to subscribe, and I expect it to stay that way. If it goes over 10, I've peaked. That's all I'm gonna say. For those 2 people who do subscribe, Gimmick Gimp is a series. I will not be known as the guy who is the Gimmick Gimp. That is not me. It's just a series title. I don't want to be known as that. I don't want people recognizing me as the Gimmick Gimp. I think that just the word Gimp in my title is something that you don't want business-wise. The first one I made was the Shockwave. I got the idea because I felt jealous by the Demo Man and Soldier having like troll weapons, and I wanted a little bit of my own paradise. To explain the stats, increases secondary fire knockback by 70%, because I was making this weapon through a perspective of pyrosharking, because pyrosharking whittles down to just using the Neon Annihilator, when that's not a subclass, that's just using a weapon. To make it an actual subclass, it should feel like an actual subclass. It's just because whenever you play Pyroshark, it just feels like you're just in the water with a melee. But with the Shockwave, it can feel like an actual subclass, like how Demo Knight feels like an actual subclass, like how Soldier feels like an actual subclass, because you're using more than one weapon. It's not just a mindset anymore. It's just how your build is. You could just knock like half the team off the map with so much knockback from air blasts. I think that Pyroshark can actually feel more like an actual subclass and not be just an idea with this. But moving on. The second one I made was the Tumor Producer. Basically it just removes healing from allies, and instead you deal damage to people. When I made the Tumor Producer, I made that from a Battle Medic perspective, because Battle Medic is basically just a joke to me and to everybody else. If you saw a Battle Medic in the field, you will beat his ass, no matter who you are. But with the Tumor Producer, it can like actually help him out, because with the ability 50% damage dealt with the Tumor Producer will turn into max health once foe is killed. That can be so powerful in the right hands. With like actual battle medics that only do battle medic, which I doubt that even exists with how shitty the subclass is. But I added the 20% minus speed to give an advantage to running away and to give an advantage to snipers, because this is overpowered. I'm willing to admit that it is overpowered, and it should be, because without having something overpowered, Battle Medic is a joke. Battle Medic is nothing. Battle Medic will never do anything. Because without something overpowered like this, Battle Medic will never do anything remarkable. But with it, Battle Medic can actually be something to notice and not, oh, that's a medic that is being dumb. With the no random crits, most weapons that have no random crits, it feels like it's just like to to give powerful weapons like just another red message, because with it, it looks like it's not that bad, but it deals continuous damage. So does it really matter? It does not matter whatsoever. But with a tumor producer, it also keeps the same range as normal mediguns, which is really close, because you need some kind of advantage to just get away from this. 12 damage per second, that doesn't sound good. Now, what if you have a distraction? What if there's a heavy next to you that is tanking all these hits and you're just leeching everyone else around you? Let's say you deal like 50 damage. You just earned 25 max health. That's 175 health. And let's say you just do a 1v1. Beginning, like once you spawn in, you're fucked. But let's say you've been having a good kill streak. You've been doing your job. You've been hanging around the heavies. You've been leeching foes. If you really think about what could happen with this, like the possibilities with this thing is so much. And it doesn't have like a cap to how much health you can earn from this. Like it doesn't cap at like 25. It doesn't cap at like 30. No, you can keep on going. Only because I didn't add that, because Medic sucks as a DPS class, because Medic sucks by himself. I think that with this, I still think that Battle Medic will still struggle a lot. And he will struggle. That's just how he is. He's gonna suck. He's gonna drown. He's gonna be bad. That's just how Battle Medic is. That's the real gimmick that Battle Medic has, is just sucking all together. Battle Medic is not fun to play. Battle Medic is not fun to go against, because only reason it's not fun to go against because it doesn't have any challenge to him. There's no challenge whatsoever when fighting Battle Medic. But with the tumor producer, they can have some fighting chance at least to win and have an actual standing. The third and final one I made was the Sky High Heels. I did not make this with a subclass in mind, but I made it because I noticed that nobody is using the sticky launcher with any Demo Man subclass, or just using it at all, because I think that it's one of the most least used sticky launchers that Demo Man has. While Soldier has basically the same thing, and a lot more people use it than they use the sticky launcher, because Trollger exists. I didn't want people to feel like it's the same thing, so I based it off of Trollger, but what if Demo Man could do it too? But he's swapping out his primary for the Sky High Heels, which is basically every time you place a sticky bomb to sticky jump, you would gain one bomb. And while in the air, you can use middle click to use the bomb, which is 50 damage. And I do not expect this to be good. I do not think it's good whatsoever. I think that it's very bad, but I do think it's a starting point, and for people to understand that the sticky launcher is fun. It's fun to use, and every time I use it, I'm always having fun with it. But it seems like nobody else is using it. I added the increases sticky launcher fire rate by 50%. I do know I spelled that wrong. I will not fix it because that's too much time. I will not do that. I know that some people will use the Sky High Heels as just to sticky spam faster, and I'm okay with it. You can do whatever you want. And I'm sitting here recording this realizing that I spent a lot more time explaining items that I cared not as much on classes that I barely play, while having like barely any time explaining a weapon on a class that I made, and I am too deep into this rabbit hole to go back and do it again, because I'm just that guy. I know this is a short video, but it's my first video, so it's gonna be shit, it's gonna be ass, and I know that later down the line, when I make like more videos, I'm gonna look at this video and I will cringe. I'm recording this right now knowing that I will cringe at this video. It will be my downfall. I will cry. And that's just for future reference. And that is a problem that I am not dealing with at this moment. Not a now issue. I'm sorry for how short this video was, but I play Pyro. We don't fucking think more than 3 ideas. And if I made more ideas, then this could be a series. And depending on how good my ideas are, it might happen. It probably won't, but it might happen. Reminder, I am not the Gimmick Gimp is just a title for the name. Please don't call me that. Goodbye.